Moving forward, I want to jump more into the lifestyle of a female fighter in Bang Tao. Specifically, if you're going to be moving to Phuket, Thailand, let us know a little bit. If someone like yourself, you know, the younger Jada is moving from Australia to Phuket, what are some of those do's and don'ts, you know, those lessons learned that you wish you kind of knew in advance before even entering here, or just shedding some life lessons for anyone out there listening that wants to move here and take on fighting as a professional career?
I think, like, first of all, Thailand's really safe. So a lot of people will be like, Thailand's dangerous, you need to be careful, this and that. But actually, Thailand's obviously got its, I mean, every country has its thing, but I think Thailand's a very safe country. So that's not something you need to entirely be concerned about, but you do need to be smart, especially if you're a female going anywhere by yourself, you need to be quite smart. But I think, like, some things that is budgeting, like pre-budgeting. If you're going to come here with a savings, Phuket is cheap, but it's not that cheap. It can be expensive in some areas or some places, or because it is cheap, sometimes you come and you're like, oh, that's only 100 baht, that's only 10,000 baht, and you're converting it into dollars. But by the end of it, because things are cheaper, you've actually just bought a lot more of cheap things and you end up spending the same amount of money anyway. I think if you can learn to, like, maybe downgrade in your, like, living style in some sense, you know, even little things like, I think about this all the time. In Australia, when you wash your dishes, you have hot water in your sink to wash dishes. You don't have that in Thailand, right? Or vacuum cleaners. Like, that's like a luxury in a sense. You know, I have a shitty little vacuum cleaner at home, and sometimes I'm vacuuming and I'm like, wow, I feel so leveled up in life. But if you can, like, downgrade those expectations, right? You're not going to come here and get a huge luxurious villa for a crazy cheap price. If you want to come here and fight and live here long term, you know, you have to have real expectations. Maybe you start out in just a room. There are some people who have just rooms. They don't even have kitchens. A room with a bathroom. There's eating, like, you can eat very cheap, but if you eat very locally, like if you go to, like, good restaurants and stuff, the prices aren't that different to maybe some prices in, like, Australia, or definitely cheaper in some ways, but you'll be surprised how quickly money can go when you're eating out. I mean, you can end up paying like $5, $6 for a coffee here still. Yeah. Which is what I would pay back at home, right? So I think definitely just learning, like, okay, I'm going to live off street food. I'm going to just settle for a room. You know, you can get your laundry done really, really cheap here. So you might lose some clothing. Sometimes you might not get things back.
You connect well, obviously, with the Thai fighters and the trainers here as well, and you consider them friends, correct?
Yes.
If you enjoyed this content, we're doing 5 clips like this a week. If you want to watch the full podcast, click here.